What's good, everybody, man? What is going on? Week 6 of the Premiership. And again, we're seeing everything happen the same way it has since week 1, where the shocks are coming in. And it's going to be one hell of a season. Tony, how you getting on, bro?
You got 2 Tonys.
Oh, TC. I have to say TC. Yeah, that caught me out last week, didn't it? Yeah, TC, how you getting on, man?
You caught me stuffing chocolate in my mouth.
How you getting on, bro? How's your weekend so far?
It is vegan chocolate, so yeah.
Listen, I've sent you so much stuff from Buster Rhymes, and I've not heard a single thing from you. So me and you have to talk later, bro.
I got my son. I haven't had a chance.
Oh, I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, but everything's all right, yeah?
Yeah, it's half-term week, so yeah, interesting.
Wicked. T.I., how you doing, man? T.I., what's going on, bro? You're on mute.
Gone.
Yeah, you're on mute, Tony.
He's got a sound issue.
Yeah, he had when he came on last week, he had a little bit of a sound issue then as well. Before he makes the comeback on his sound, Bertram, what is going on, bro? But the thing about Bertram is Bertram's mic is at a nice level when we're on our game watch-alongs and stuff like that. But when on a Friday night, I don't know what it is. Bertram's mic just explodes.
I'm going to lower my voice and turn my mic down.
Yeah, now you're really quiet now.
Well, I'm trying not to talk normal.
No, we can barely hear you.
I can actually go. I actually set it. I set my volume. Tell me if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, keep talking.
Yeah. I turned it off, so it's fine.
Yeah, keep talking. You're still a little bit quiet.
So now let me get my mic up, man.
I'm good.
Yeah,
okay.
Tone.
Yeah. So I'll try to talk a bit lower.
Yeah, I can hear you now, Tony.
You still can't hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Cool.
So guys, again, Premiership week 6, and there's a lot to talk about. So let's do what we did last week. Let's just breathe through. A couple of the guys are coming in, so I don't really want to spoil any of their results. Drew, Man City. Let me see. I've just dropped my daughter to university, and I've literally had 2 minutes to get myself organized. So I haven't even seen the messages. I know Andy's coming in. Andy's going to be here a little late. Here we go. Drew has sent me a message. Drew sent me a message saying to me that he's had a late issue. So there's a couple of guys coming in. Ian's not been able to make it. So I've got no West Ham fan this week, which is a bit strange. Ian's got some stuff he's doing. I know. Ian said he'll probably come back in a couple of weeks. He's just got a new contract. Ian's an actor, by the way. And he works on he works on the stage in London. I've known him for about 30 odd years. As a Skins fan, we've traveled to Washington DC together, enjoyed the games, done a lot of stuff with the Skins. He was there when we presented Art Monk with the award in the Hyatt Regency. I think it was 90. What was that? Oh God, it was 94. I think it was. So I've known Ian for a long time in the American sports circuit. So guys, let's just quickly blow over these results so we can get onto the juicy ones. We did this last week. It does save a little bit of time. Nothing to really say about these. I did my predictions. I'm just trying to see what my predictions were now. I think I went for it's underneath the thing. Let me just try and see if I can find it.
Wolves won Newcastle.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, so my predictions were Wolves. I said Wolves would win 1-0, and obviously it was 1-1. I said Brighton would win 2-1, and it was 1-1. And I said Palace would win 2-0. And actually, when Zaha scored, I messaged Bertram and I said, I told you, another prediction I got right. And then Bertrand goes, no, Fulham just scored. Tony, what did you make of these games? Any shocks?
Yeah, I mean, the Wolves Newcastle game, I was quite deep into that one. I was enjoying that. But I just kind of felt there was an equaliser there. Wolves went up 1-0. Great goal from Jimenez again. What a guy.
Yeah.
I tell you, the next summer, he's going to be hot on a lot of people's radar, I reckon.
I thought he was going to be like that this summer.
This summer, yeah. But yeah, great goal from Jimenez. And then Newcastle, hung in there, and then got their equaliser. Brighton, West Brom, I've got no idea what the hell happened there because I didn't watch the game. Fulham, Crystal Palace, Bertram's guy, the man again. Zaha, terrorising defences.
But the difference is I've always questioned, and not just me, but everybody has questioned Zaha, because here's this guy, huge England talent, nowhere near on the level of Walcott. You're not going to get 20 goals a season out of this guy. Not in the class of Raheem Sterling, but he's in a class regardless. Man United didn't buy him for a joke. They bought him because he was supposed to be this next big thing, right? Didn't work out. Gone back to Palace. And he's almost a prisoner there. And I've talked about how his numbers hasn't really produced. There's been half of the numbers that Pepe has produced. And all of a sudden, this guy's got 5 goals. I mean, he's doing everything that how long he can keep this up is a question. Yeah, that's going to be a question. But right now, he's got the start that he's needed to have all along in his career. He can really have a breakout season this season. Bertram? I can't hear you, Bertram. You're mute. No, I can't hear you.
Can't hear you. No. I can't hear him.
Right. So, Tony, do you want to finish on? Do you want to finish that before I go to Ti?
I'm done.
Oh, okay. So, Ti, what was your thoughts on these games?
Yeah, I thought Wolves was which one we talking about now?
Well, all 3 of them really, but we were just talking about if you forget the fact that there were 2 draws there, then Palace actually won the game.
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
You now. Yeah.
And it's perfect, Bertram. It's perfect.
I'll go. Yeah, I thought Wolves would hold on against Newcastle. I thought they beat them, but Newcastle will come back. Brighton. The funny thing about Brighton, they've been playing all right, Brighton, but their points. How much they got? 3 points or 4 points?
About that,
they've been playing all right, Brighton. Palace, Zaha is one of those guys who. The thing is, no one came in for him this summer, which was a bit, because last summer I think Everton were talking about 50 million or something like that. Yeah, I think he's running out of time now. So if he pulls it off this season, then he might get a move. But will he get a move to one of the top 6 sides? I doubt it. It's going to be around about maybe an Everton, because I think Everton's still going to be finished around about 7th or 8th anyway. So, but he won't get into one of the top teams now. I think that ship's sailed.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to play for Spurs. Obviously, he's an Arsenal fan, and Arsenal's his dream move. But I can see him going to a Leicester, going to an Everton, Everton is going to be extremely hard to get into an Everton side.
But that thing about him not wanting to go to Spurs is a load of rubbish. I reckon if Spurs came into him and Palace accepted the bid, he'd be there about his sports for Arsenal. Come on, man.
Where would he play though?
Well, that Spurs never came in for him, so
if there's admirations of Gareth Bale eventually coming back, because remember Bale's actually got a year left on his contract. So if they have admirations of keeping him there, which I think, there's a reason why he's gone back to the team he started with. So it's fair to say that Tottenham they're going to get a deal sorted out. And it's going to be him, Song, and Kane, and that's the way it's going to be. If that's the case, there's no room for Zaha.
No. Tottenham won't go for Zaha now. There
are a couple of things, right? One could say the Grealish situation is different from Zaha. They're English players, quote unquote, even though Zaha plays for an African team in terms of national team. And no one is going in for Grealish because the teams are pricing them out of the market. Their teams don't want to lose them, so they price them out of the market. And no one is going in with big prices this year. The year before Barcelona, we can see between Barcelona and Real Madrid what happens when you overspend. When you don't have a contingency plan, if something dire happens, like happened now, then you see that, those clubs are sorry that they made some of those acquisitions that they made. So no one's going to go in for Zaha. And Zaha is getting older. You're right. He's about 27, 28 now.
28, yeah.
The ship is almost sailed. But it's no different for Grealish. Grealish has been one of the best players in the league. And no one went in this. Man U sort of we hinted that we wanted to go in for him, but no one's willing to pay those price in a pandemic era. It's not going to happen. No one is going to pay more than 30 or 40 mil for a player when you're going to put yourself in more debt than you have now. Look at Man U's results. Our results, they're not pretty. And I know fans think that money is a wash everywhere. That's not the case, actually. Premier League has to give that money to TV. It's not the best situation for teams.
Well, Chelsea forked out a lot of money. They could have got him if they wanted him.
Yeah, but Chelsea actually saved money from 2 transfer windows, right? And Chelsea go younger players though. Chelsea has unless you're going to be a Silva, which they want some old head to come in and help. But think about Ziyech and Pulisic and all Hudson-Odoi. It's a very Havertz, a very young team they're molding. They didn't give William a contract, even though William has been a good servant. But you're right, Chelsea could have gone in for him. And there was some talk about Chelsea going in for him.
Really?
They decided not to. Yeah, they were talking about Chelsea going in for him.
How much did Palace want for him? 60 million?
80. Yeah.
No.
It was 80. Yeah, it was 80 for. Look, they're saying
it
that we don't
still was 80. We made that phone call. Remember in the morning we made that phone call and it was still 80 million.
That was 2 years. That was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
No. It was 2 years ago, Tom. He hasn't dropped the valuation.
They dropped the value. Arsenal called them on the deadline Monday, and at 8:15, it was still 80 million.
So one of my colleagues is a Palace supporter and backer, and engaged quite a bit with the ownership there. And he's telling me that there's no desire to sell Zaha. They want to stay in the Premier League. The view is if they don't have Zaha, they're not going to be in the league, which is interesting. That's their perspective, actually. So if that's the case, and being in the league is 100 million, why would you want to sell him?
Yeah, I mean,
we believe that actually. So
there's parity in the league, and no team needs money. No team, unless you're a surefire relegate team for relegation, and even if you're Fulham, you've got that 94 million TV money. I don't know what the rebate is going to be this year, but it's definitely going to happen. It is going to be a rebate because they're gonna trash this pay-per-view system. It's not working. So look forward to them telling the clubs that they're going to have to pay a rebate again. But outside of Fulham, nobody needs money. That they're keeping their best players. So,
but I'll say this: Emery did say he wanted Zaha. He didn't want Pepe.
Yeah, that's right.
He wanted Zaha because he played against Zaha twice and he destroyed us twice. And he does what Klopp does. Klopp play against a player, assess the player very close up, and say, you know what? I want Mane. I want Salah. He look at them. Those two only cost 30-something mil. Zaha was overpriced, frankly. But if you're a manager and you're the sideline, you watch a player play, you make a decision. You know what? I've seen him up and close. I want him. So we got to move on because Zaha his situation is not going to change. But he scored more goals this year because tonight actually should have had a penalty tonight. Yeah. He should have had a penalty. It's a clear penalty.
Yeah, he also had the assist as well. So before we move on to the first game, just want to say a big shout out to Joseph. Joseph, thank you very much for the £2 contribution. I really appreciate that, bro. Big shout out to you, my friend. He says, Apollo, do you think that we will win against United on Sunday? No, I don't. I think United's going to win 2-0. I think it's going to be 2-0 Man United. I just don't see I'm hoping Arsenal show me something different. If you look at the video, actually, I just released. Sorry, guys, for the late video today. I only uploaded it about 9 o'clock this evening. But I uploaded a video at 9 o'clock this evening, and I said in that video that we were supposed to be that team. Remember, I compared Arteta to Emery. I said Emery's record against the top 6 teams is 17%. Arteta's record against the top 6 teams is 44%. But yet he's already lost to Leicester, Liverpool, and Man City. So that's not a good start. And I don't think that trend is going to improve. Somebody said it was 2006, which is the last year that we won at Old Trafford in the league. That is 14 years. That's horrible. So, Arteta, you know what you got to do, bro. You got to change my fortunes and show me the money, as Cuba Gooding Jr. would say. Guys, Tony, what did you think of this game? Good game.
Yeah, well, Bamford, man, it's kind of...
I
kept saying he was no good. And, it's not that I don't think he's not good, but he's one of them players that you go, he ain't going to score more than about 10 goals this season in what is a good team. Leeds are a good team. But I just, he just looks to me and feels to me like, the next coming of Sean Goater or someone like that, But he proved me wrong.
Someone's going to mention Danny Ings. I can feel it in my bones.
I was not shocked by the result.
No, I'm just thinking about somebody's assessment of talent, and I'll just shut up. Even though I must admit, I'm not a total Bamford fan. I would admit, I'm not sure what Deza sees. He sees me, but I can't say I'm a Bamford fan. I can't say that.
No, my God. I'm not a total Bamford fan. So, look, I'm not going to lie. I went for Leeds 2-1. I went for a shock win. I got the result right, but I didn't get the numbers right. But I just felt Villa has shown us so much. But the way that Leeds play, I thought Leeds were going to get lucky, and they did. And look, I was trying to get a Leeds fan to come on tonight, but that didn't work out. But I thought Leeds would turn them over, and they did. And this stands to reason. Look how tough it is already at the top of the table. It's ridiculous what's going on right now. Leeds are sitting in third place. Third place. Come on, guys. Yeah? Third place.
Well, I think Leeds make you uncomfortable. Yeah. And that's what a lot of teams don't do. They make you very uncomfortable. You don't like to play teams like that because you can't settle on the ball. When you play football, you want to have time so you can look around and make a pretty pass and go by a player. And they make you they're running all game. Now, can you keep that up for 30-something games? We'll see if that happens, because like Liverpool's first year when Klopp came, they burnt out late in the season. They were pressing like madmen, so we'll see what happens.
But Ti, what did you think of this result? Guys, I'll be gone for about 10 seconds. I just got an emergency message from my wife. I'll be back in about 10 seconds. Tony, let us know what you thought about the Aston Villa Leeds result.
Yeah, in terms of the result, with Leeds, I didn't see a 3-0. Obviously, I didn't see a 3-0. It could have gone either way for me. But as you said, Bertram, Leeds make you uncomfortable. And Villa had the best defensive record, and they just turned it over. And they said about Bamford. Bamford, he ain't the most pleasing on the eye, but he fits the system, And if he fits the system and you're scoring the goals, there you go. He won't get. And the thing about Bamford, if he carries on scoring for the next 5 games, he still won't get picked for England. So
yeah, I think that's his objective, though, right? He wants to get into England, like everyone else, because I heard Watkins, the coach for Aston Villa, saying Watkins. Everyone wants to get the England team, so everyone wants to get into the England team. That's the goal. Obviously, get the England team means you get more bonus and more money. Obviously, your price goes up. But that's the objective.
And funny enough, the way I don't know, it's weird because the way Watkins look, you think Watkins will get in there before Bamford. Just,
just
the looks.
I would agree with that one.
Weird.
So, I can't believe what's going on. What's that? 6 goals now for Bamford?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well,
how much does Abba have? How much Abba have?
When you score 3 in one game, it does kind of.
Doesn't matter.
6 in 6 sounds like you got 6 in every game, 1 in every game, but you didn't. You got 3 in 1.
So, Tony, does it matter if it's 6 in 1 game or 6 in 6 games? Yeah. At the end of the season, when they count it up, it's the same number.
Yeah. To get a hat trick is hard in the Premier League, man. Come on, it doesn't matter against a defense like that. Come on, man. Yeah, listen, I ain't gonna knock him. Man.
Boy, I mean, you look. I can't really. They're coming. What's this? Cool K saying Liverpool needed 2 penalties and a VAR decision to beat Leeds. Ti. Oh man.
Yeah, well, hey, we got the result, man. That's it. At the end of the day, But yeah, every team will have a game where they get through, and you think, you know what, we scrape through. But every team's gonna have that.
Yeah.
Most good teams are lucky because good teams make their own luck. Good teams make their own luck. Yeah.
Yeah, we have this saying in American football. Yeah, bad teams know how to lose, and the other.
Well, you should know that well. You're supposed
to. Of course.
Hey, mind you, you had a good result Sunday.
I know. I loved it. I enjoyed every minute of it, man. Every minute.
Yeah.
And normally,
mate, they was playing a team with no legs.
And you know what I normally say about the Skins? I normally say to them, they're so good at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Yeah, it's just
No, that's Atlanta. That's Atlanta. Atlanta has perfected that.
Atlanta. Yeah,
Atlanta has perfected that. No other team has perfected like Atlanta.
No, what Atlanta did in the Super Bowl was sacrilege, man. Absolute sacrilege. So Tony, TC, what did you think of the West Ham? And it's a shame, as I said, it's the first week we haven't got a West Ham fan here. So big shout out to Luke. I know you're watching, and big shout out to Ian. I know you're watching as well. And I just want to say, look, West Ham. So let's roll this back, shall we? Nearly beat Arsenal, beat Wolves, beat Leicester, drawn Man City. I've got a what else? What other result did they get last week? Let me just draw them up.
Last week was Man City, wasn't it?
Yeah, last week was Man City, but it was before that. Hold on a second. Before that, they drew Spurs 3-3.
3-3. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So guys, what's going on here with the Hammers, man? Come on, let's big up the Hammers. I've been doing it since week 1.
You got kind of you kind of look at, and again you kind of look at a player who's bang on form, and you're like, where does this come from? Antonio, he's a nightmare.
Beast.
He's absolutely destroying defenses right now. You know, if he's not assisting, he's scoring. So I wasn't really surprised by this result, because there's West Ham seem to have developed a resilience.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because look at my
turn some of these draws into wins, but they built up a resilience. Man City, they show me this season that they're not going to be any different to last season.
Agreed.
They're going to be that team that's going to blow some teams away, but they're going to end up with a loads of draws and losses. And so the league is wide open now, because Liverpool losing their 2 key defenders means that it is open season.
Look at Tony's rubbing his nose and saying, Tony's like, yeah,
he knows.
Yeah.
Tony's like, look at Tony.
Can't beat us.
Liverpool are the tortoise. They're going to take their time, let everybody run in front of them. And then when they slow down and the hair starts running out of breath and the hair goes, oh, I'm so tired, I need a rest. Then the tortoise is just going to come.
I think Van Dijk is a huge loss for Liverpool. Huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
mean, irreplaceable.
Yeah, how long is Fabinho out?
Well, I think they can do that. Fabinho, give Thiago. I mean, Thiago in the middle, but Fabinho have the ability to switch to play defense. That's a challenge that you're running.
Yeah, that's
right?
it. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, Bertram, you can see my prediction in the brackets there on the right-hand side. Yeah. Who's your baby, man?
Apparently, Moyes is going back to his Everton days. It's making his team hard to beat. And Antonio, you should remember Antonio, because he pulled out tear in his shoulder last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's rugged. He's really rugged. Actually. That's the thing. He bullies defenders, and he's unorthodox, so he's very hard to play against. Actually, he's all over the place, legs, arms, running everywhere. So it's very difficult for a defender to play him. But look, I mean, they have decent players on their team. They're not as bad in terms of the squad as people make them out to be. And they bought in Ben Rama, right? Who I rate as a good player also. So
I think the interesting thing, Bertram, is Kevin De Bruyne was back for this game.
Yeah, but he wasn't fully fit, right? He wasn't into it until you could see him against Marcel as a much different player than he was the first game back.
Yeah, but quality is quality. Aguero weren't fully fit the week before when he came back from injury. He scored against us.
And he was off again at halftime.
Yeah, Vardy came back and he wasn't fully fit and he scored against us.
But Vardy's a machine. Vardy just comes out and scores. As we know, as Arsenal fans, that there's a one player we don't want to play against because he always scores against us. But then again, we do have Mustafi, who always contribute to our demise on a continuous basis.
So Tony, T.I., Antonio, all of Antonio's 39 goals in the league have been scored from inside the box.
Wow. And the way he plays, you'd think he'll score most of them outside the box.
I mean, this guy's like a power forward, isn't he? He's like a power forward.
I thought that was him. Oh yeah. He's a big brute, and we've got him. We've got him tomorrow. So I don't know if Matip's going to be back. I'm not too sure, but you know,
he's injured actually, so he won't be against him tomorrow. He has a pulled hamstring.
Who? Antonio.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Gonna be out for 4 weeks.
Yeah, because he's without Van Dijk and Matip, I don't know who we're going to think we might have a young guy at the back. But yeah, West Ham are doing well, man. He's got them. How long they can keep it up for, I don't know. But he's got them playing like yeah, you're right. He's going back to the Everton days, and they're looking all right, West Ham. And the good thing about them as well, after the first game where they played bad, is no fans.
Yeah,
no fans of West Ham, because I think if they had their fans in there at the beginning of the season, that would have killed them.
Yeah.
The thing with West Ham though is they're one of them teams that after Christmas, when a couple of injuries come in, they'll be out of it, because they rely on their first 11. Their first 11 is a great team. After that, it falls dramatically.
But remember,
they bought some players. They have Ben Rama, Yabaleka is on the bench. They have a few players who can play. They're building up the squad actually. So
but remember, guys, I think the key aspect here is that West Ham now have it easier running, because the reason why their fans were saying that they were going to be bottom of the table at this point is because Arsenal, Everton, Everton was in the cup. Wolves, Spurs, Leicester City. You know, Man City, they got Liverpool tomorrow. So that's coming up. That is death and destruction as far as the schedule goes. And look where they are. They're in 10th place. They're mid-table.
I think they're more concerned after their first game where they would be, because they were not really good in their first game, and everyone was just if you didn't talk sports, they were just losing their minds. But they got pleased after they played the bigger teams and got results. So. And they should have beaten us, frankly.
Agreed. So we move on, TC. We move on to Burnley and Spurs, and really, look, you can see I've lost it there. I've gone for 4-0. I don't know what I was thinking of, but you know what it is. I've got Son and Kane in my fantasy football team, and them two brothers are blowing my team up. I'm not gonna lie. They're blowing my team every week. They're blowing my team up. So it was more me wishing that they scored 4 goals, so that I could keep raping them for points, but it just didn't happen. Tony, what was your thoughts on this one?
I hate Spurs, so I don't really want to talk about them.
You sound like me.
I mean, you know what? The noisy neighbours across the way, they're making noise. They're making a loud noise at the moment. You know, Kane and Son, between them, are building a partnership, and I keep talking about how important partnerships are. You know, you build partnerships down the sides, down the flanks, and then you build up that spine through the middle. That's how you build a really good team. You know, people who know just intuitively where the other player's going to go, how he likes the ball to be delivered. And Son and Kane have got that now.
Yeah.
So with that being said, they're still in 10th place. With all that being said, they're still in 10th place, and they got beaten by the Ladyboys, who's Bertram's favorite team in midweek in the Europa team. No, I'm not going to lie. Bertram said, you guys, no lie. On the stream last night, Bertram said, "Una top your eyes." He said, "Una top your eyes." He goes, that the team played really good. And I was like, yeah, whatever. When I watched the replay, I'm not going to lie.
Those stats that Mark is quoting, they're nonsense stats. It means nothing. The team can play. They go recruit all these players from Africa who can play ball and put them all in one team. They can play.
I mean, I tell you, the picture we looked at with Jose Mourinho sitting on the couch at the end of it, you know, when he was talking about, you know, see you 11 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning for, you know, that meeting this morning could not have gone any worse for them. Bertrand, what did you think of this result overall?
I thought Burnley played well, actually. One of their better games for the season. And they could have gotten a result, apart from Kane heading the ball and Son always seemed to turn up in the right spot, actually. But I thought they could have gotten a result of this game. I didn't think Tottenham dominated as much as they had in their previous games. But as Tony says, our noisy neighbors have two teams. It's one thing to have one good 11 like Liverpool does, but the Liverpool has supplemented it more recently. They have quality at almost every position, which Jose is looking for, which then makes our lives a little bit difficult because obviously we have to play them twice a year, and we never want them to finish above us. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with their team. Bale has not settled in yet, and they're trying to slowly get him into the team. So if he comes up firing, they have a very potent forward line, and Ndombele is playing really, really well. This Ndombele we saw in France, that's now been transitioned to the Premier League. So think about it. They put Sissoko and Solberg and Højbjerg as the two defensive midfielder, and Ndombele being the creator, and those three up front, they can afford to give up goals because they're going to score goals. Unlike us, because we're impotent up front, frankly.
Yeah.
So we don't. Even though we're solidifying our defense and our midfield is getting better, our vaunted front line is not effective. And frankly, at some point, I think they just play the kids because the people with the names are not producing.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. So let me go to Ti. I like throwing stuff at you lot. Okay, here we go, Ti. So check this out. So Aubameyang has 1 goal and 1 assist, and he has 9 chances created. So he's been Arsenal's most creative player, Aubameyang. Harry Kane has also created 9 chances, but he has 8 assists. So imagine 8 assists in the 9 chances he's created in 6 games. That's the difference. Both of them have created the same amount, but one's got 1 assist and 1 goal. The other's got 8 assists. How many goals has he got? Has he got 5, I think? I think it's 5. No, Son has got 7.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go to top
I think Harry
scorers.
has 5 and 7 assists or something like that.
Yeah, Son has got 8 goals and 2 assists. And Kane has got, I was right, 5 goals. 5 goals and 8 assists. So imagine that. And it's crazy. T.I., talk to me, man.
Yeah.
That is mental. So in five games between Son and Kane, they share 13 goals and 10 assists between them in 5 games.
5, I think. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Tony?
Go ahead, Tony.
Don's got a delay.
Yeah.
It's got a slight delay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Tony, over to you. Ti.
No, something's wrong with his connection. Something's wrong with his connection.
I can't see him delaying.
It just shows that Kane's a better player.
Oh, that's better.
Okay.
Done. Kane's a better player than Aubameyang.
Yeah.
He can score goals. He can play up front, score goals. He can drop.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, I mean, overall for me, it just all of the success that Tottenham's having, and it's still mid-table. So, what's going to happen? I mean, they haven't really hit any bad form yet.
It's crazy. The thing. I know we're going to talk about the Arsenal game later on. The thing is, as Tony was saying, there's a partnership there. There's an understanding between them. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, but I think there might be a delay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We're loud and clear.
Okay. Kane's just a better player than. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you, Tony, loud and clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
He has got about
something is not right.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you've got a delay, and I think
I'm on delay.
Yeah, I think you're on delay. Yeah, so you might have to disconnect and reconnect again.
Okay. Kane's, as I said, Kane's just a better player than Aubameyang. End the story.
Something's wrong with the system.
Okay.
You may have to go back on and come back in, Tony.
Yeah. It might have to go back out and come back in. So, guys, let's move on to Manchester United versus Chelsea. I went for a let's have a look at this and let him come back in. I went for a 3-2 Man United win. Oh my God, did I just put 2-0
No,
there?
you probably went for 2.
It's
That's
a
my
0-0.
mistake. Yeah, that's my mistake. Hold on, guys. Talk about wishful thinking.
I was gonna say, I don't remember that game. What game are you talking about?
I don't know what I did. I did that last week as well.
I had a 3-2. If you put my score up there.
Oh, you had it 3-2.
Yeah, I said 3. Man, I said 3-2. Yeah.
Yeah, me too as well. And when I look at it, it was to be honest with you, it wasn't a game that would set anybody alight, to be honest. And I think that personally, both teams was probably happy for a draw. Tony, what did you think of this one?
What's going on with VAR, please?
Yeah, VAR's mental, bro.
That game was the most boring game, but I gotta say, VAR is killing football because how are you not seeing the Harry Maguire foul? It's just.
And this it's at Old Trafford.
It's
It's at Old Trafford.
Oh man,
That's
it's like because it's at Old Trafford, you're just expecting penalties.
Oh,
you
man.
kind of think like nowadays, Man United, their penalty is guaranteed. The boys up top have just got the knack. They know how to win a pen. But yeah, this was a nothing game. It was one that you're kind of going, is this game ever going to start? Is this game ever going to start? But nah, not a lot to talk about, I'm afraid. I kind of saw draw ahead of this, and it was a game that there's nothing to talk about really, other than VAR missing blatant fouls.
A little underwhelmed.
So I'm gonna disagree with Tony about VAR killing football. I hear all these British people complaining about VAR. So here's the thing, Tony. If VAR wasn't there, the play would have been missed anyway. So here's what people are thinking about. If VAR wasn't there, you'd be complaining that the referee is either biased or is blind. So I would agree. It's not the system, it's the person in the booth, not afraid to make the tough decision. But VAR is not killing football. In fact, what VAR is doing is working out the kinks and showing how fallible human beings are.
Tony, how could you be a fan of the NFL and cover your eyes like that? You knew the team.
I'm a fan of basketball. Any American sport has VAR now.
We all know how fallible the replay system is because we've seen it so many times in the NFL. We see it all the time in the NBA.
Don't mention that Saints game because they fixed the rule after that. That was ridiculous.
No, but it's a person who may have bet on the game don't want to call it, right? The same thing that the referee. they had some money in the game. They're not calling it.
I mean, I totally understand what you're saying, Bertram, and yet we do have to give it time. We do have to kind of bear with it, but it just seems so regular. And we are, unfortunately, in the TV replay era where we can see everything in that much of a second.
And that's why you need VAR, Tony. That's why you need VAR, because you can see it.
So if we can see that, just like that, what are they missing?
I agree.
Yeah, I've always said this to you guys from week one. I said it's not the system VAR, it's the people making the decisions. And this happened.
I watched American football last week, and you can see coaches like, shall I throw the red flag? Shall I contest this one? And he's like, 2 seconds, contest, and he's in with the flag. And it's like, you just know if the guy upstairs can see it that quickly, how are they not seeing it?
I think there's too many grey areas in football. We had this conversation last week, didn't we, about what is offside and is it an elbow, is it an arm, is it your backside? We had this conversation, and when I pulled up the picture, I think two of us said one thing and two of us said the other, and it was just like, so there's still this grey area, and it's just not working for the game.
Yeah, but that's not VAR though. That's the archaic rules.
I'll tell you
rules which makes no sense.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll tell you how this works. What do you guys think of the idea of bringing in a contest?
No.
A what?
A contest.
Red flag.
If the coach thinks that he wants to have another look at something, What do you think?
I don't disagree with that concept, but the problem you have is football, unlike most sports stop after play.
Yeah, but
right?
you're only going to get
cricket stops.
Game.
I understand cricket stops. But when do you stop the play? You throw your flag out. Do I stop the play when the other team may be scoring and then it's a bad?
Yeah, but think about, okay, if you only got 2, you're only going to do them when you are absolutely certain.
Yeah, Tony, my opinion.
But Tony, here's the point. So I have the ball. I think it's a penalty. I wave my flag. The ref starts to play the check. But I'd won the ball going the other way in a break.
Yeah.
And could have scored. And it wasn't offside. Or it wasn't a penalty.
All right, Bertram, Tony. The only fix for this is this one fix, and it's already in play. What didn't happen in that Man United Chelsea game was the referee didn't get the final decision. VAR did. What they should have done is they should have told the referee, go to the sideline, look into the monitor, and make your own decision. They didn't do that. For me,
and let's be honest, we saw a game where a decision on a penalty was made 10 minutes after the game finished.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if that can happen, Bertram, all this baloney about, well, oh no, it's going to delay the game is rubbish, because most of the decisions that end up going to VAR take on average about 2-3 minutes at least.
What they need to do is get the referee to go to the sideline, look at the monitor, and he's the referee. He's the head official of the game. Let him make the choice. Tony, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Tony.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Oh,
but he's giving up.
Because when he came in before,
what Bar says to the referee, we can't hear you. We can't hear the referee.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Bar. We can't go to the monitor.
It started off like that last time, and we can hear. Hey, listen, when I started these podcasts, I was having teething problems, and I had to get my HyperCloud 2 sorted out, man. And ever since I've had them, I've not had any problems at all.
Well, you see me tonight. I had my Bose on, and Bose weren't working, so I switched to Beats.
But it's good. Your volume sounds the same as it does in our watch-alongs. Whereas previously on Friday nights, man, you're like, wow, you're like 100 watts.
I turn it down a little bit. I think.
Tony's still trying to work on it coming back. I wanted to get Tony's feedback on the Manchester United Chelsea game, but Tony's still trying to work on his audio. I need Tony back because the next game is actually Liverpool, but what I can do is I can throw the Southampton-Everton game up next. So let's talk about that. Southampton-Everton, you can see I went for 2-2. I actually said to Bertram, your boy Danny Ings never scored, but he got 2 assists.
No, actually, I've traded him to Tony. He's not Tony's boy.
So who you got, Bertram? So if I got Danny Ings,
I can hear you, Tony, now. T.I., I can hear you.
Who do I have? I'm working on it.
All right,
I'm working on it. Maybe I'll take Bamford.
Hold on, TC. Before you talk about Southampton Everton, let me get T.I.'s feedback on Manchester United Chelsea.
All right.
Yeah, you sound fantastic now.
You can hear me now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I had to take these. Heads out. Yeah, Man U Chelsea. To be honest, I didn't see the game, but I saw the penalty incident. And it was a clear one. I don't know why VAR didn't give it. It's crazy. Both teams, it was a bit of a nothing game, really. It showed where both teams are at the moment. Both struggling for form, don't know their best 11 yet. It was much of a muchness for those two teams. They've got a lot of work to do. Even though Man U got a brilliant result during the week in the Champions League. They're weird because in Champions League they beat PSG and they beat
that's right,
Leipzig. And they look really good doing that. But in the league, they're
15th. They're not scoring much in the league. I mean,
they have Greenwood. They have Greenwood, and he scores goals. He takes goals really well, actually, on either foot.
Yeah.
So if they're playing James, and James hasn't scored in about 30 years. He hasn't scored forever. So, and now I know Cavani's starting to play, so it's going to be interesting to see what.
So
come Sunday.
I'll see what. Yeah, but it's a bit. Yeah, other than the penalty decision.
Yeah,
not
good.
much going on there, to be
Guys,
fair.
let's move on to Southampton, Everton. Now, as you can see, I went for 2-2, and Danny Ings, your boy. Well, your boy or your boy. I don't know which boy it is. But Southampton are up to 8th place now, and they are looking decent. I think they've always had a problem with stability, but they look a little bit more rounded now. They really do look rounded.
I think so. Go ahead.
No, and I'm just saying that they're building from the back, and then they've got Ings there. The midfield looks solid. They've added Walcott, so they've got width now. Yeah, I mean, they're going to cause some teams some problems.
You know, I think Southampton are a team that are going to work like this in a curve. So they start off slowly, then they slowly build up some momentum, and then get to a crescendo where they're at their peak, and then it falls off again. So they start off slow, peak, fall off. And I think they're going to be like that this season. They've got good players. They've got decent players, but no one's really setting the world on fire. Ings is my boy, as Bertram has kindly passed him over to me now. You know, look, if you're playing football, Ings is a dream. Yeah. So he's gonna be there and thereabouts, up there with the goals and the assists. No one else. I mean, Ward-Prowse is a good player, but he's not. You know, you wouldn't take him at the expense of, say, a Grealish or a Maddison. You know, those guys I think are a little bit better. But you know, he's a good all-round player. But no one in Southampton is gonna make you jump up and down and go, oh my gosh, I've got to go and buy him next summer. Apart from Danny Ings, if you're looking for a striker or a link man. But this game, to be honest, as I said, I kind of see. I've been looking at Southampton over the weeks. I'm thinking they're building a little momentum now, and I think they do well at home. They're a homely team.
Yeah.
You know, they don't go away well, so they'll go away this weekend and get battered.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Bertram, this is the shortest unbeaten start to a season since I was born, 1968. That is crazy. I mean, you know, can you imagine that? No team has gone longer than.
Season.
No. I'm talking about this is the shortest season.
With no undefeated teams. No, at this point of the season.
No undefeated teams after just 6 games. That's not happened since 1968.
Got it.
So that is unbelievable. But again, I talk about parity. We talk about. Bertram has said many times over the weeks that this is going to be the hardest, toughest Premier League in many years. And we've seen that now. There's no vulnerable teams. Look at the amount of goals. Look at the goal differences of some of the teams as well. It's crazy. Bertram, do you rate?
Factors, right? We think about what happened in Germany when they started their restart and didn't have any crowds. So you don't have that home crowd. You're not going to Anfield to go against that boisterous Liverpool crowd. You're playing like you're playing in your backyard, frankly. There's no crowd, there's no sound. You're just hearing each other. You don't have that crowd intimidation. And secondly, most teams have improved in terms of the quality of their players, apart from a couple of teams coming up in terms of West Brom and Fulham. But most of the teams, Villa almost got relegated, they improved. Leeds came up flying, and they've been flying ever since they came up, given how Bielsa had his team. And most of the teams have improved. Yeah, that's what I said at the outset, which is I could see 9 teams competing for the title. Think about Wolves and Leicester and Spurs and us having a shot. I should say for top 4, not necessarily the title, but top 4, plus the 4 from last season. You think about 9 teams being competitive to beat each other in any given Sunday or any given Saturday. And then the rest of the teams like Southampton are going to be competitive, right? The Burnley is going to be hard to beat if they, stack everybody back and play 11 behind the ball. So it's going to be a really, really tough season for teams, and especially teams like us, Arsenal, who don't have creativity. It's going to be hard to break down teams like Leicester showed us last week. You play deep and play counter-attacking football. Now, if you're City or Liverpool, you can break teams down, or maybe a Chelsea when they all get familiar with each other. But most of the teams will struggle to break a team that's solidified and pack it in and saying, "Come and beat me." So,
I think the thing is, I've been hearing some people on Sky Sports pundits talking about this is the first, Everton have had back-to-back games with red cards. But actually, the 2 goals were scored within 37 minutes, and the red card was in the 70th minute. So that had absolutely nothing to do with the result of this game. And I hate it when they kind of make up those comments, like, you know, for people who didn't see the game, oh, they lost because of the red card. It had nothing to do with the red card.
No.
Kez is saying, I think the short preseason is having an impact, and will also play big in part of the middle towards the end of the season. The team that navigates well will have a good chance. I think with that one, Kez, remember when I made the comment and said that the teams in the Sheffield United, Burnley, Wolves, in that kind of mid-table position, the ones that don't put extra bums on seats, because this is a much condensed season now, so you're going to play more games, you're going to need a squad, and some of the teams like Burnley didn't add any players. And they're going to struggle because you've got all these games coming up, a thin squad, they can't rotate, and it's going to kill them. Tony, what was your thoughts on this result? Happy for you, isn't it, as a Liverpool fan, seeing Everton go down?
Oh, it's good for us because that means that we're level on points. So that was really good for us. Southampton are going to be one of those teams, as I said, you know, they'll win 2, then they lose 1 or 2. You know, so they're just going to be like that, Southampton. They can score on their day. You know, they're dangerous with Danny Ings. You got Cheddar. Is it not Cheddar? Is Cheddar not Ched Evans? The other guy who they bought. I think they got him from Leeds. They got the other guy up front.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they on some Saturdays or Sundays they play really well, Southampton. But as I said, they're going to be, you know, they win 2, they lose 2. Everton. I guess their time was coming. They couldn't keep it up. All you know, they're playing well, and just a kind of off day. Everton, they didn't look good at all. Everton they've got 2 quick goals, Southampton, and that just knocked the stuffing out of them. But as all you guys have been saying, you know, it's going to be tight. You know, the mid from 4th place, 5th place down, it's going to be a bunch of teams haggling for Europa League spots.
Yeah, and onto your team, Tony. You can see I went for Liverpool 4-0.
What?
You know, yeah, I went for a 4-0 Liverpool win here. What is going on with your team, Tony? When they got the win.
We haven't. Yeah, we got the win, but we're still not firing on all cylinders. But we're not. We still got hangover from last season. Obviously, no Virgil van Dijk in there. So you know, I don't think we're going to be as gung ho as we were before. I think we're going to be a little more cautious going forward now, especially now with Fabinho not being going the back 4 either. So we're getting through. We're not playing that well, but we're still second, which is good. Which is a good sign. You know, if we were Man U were 15th or something, then yeah. But we're grinding that. We're still grinding it out. We still got quality. The thing about us, we got quality up front. We got quality. So if we are, except for the Aston Villa game, but if it's tight, you know, we got the people, we got the guys there who can put the ball in the net. So as I said, you know, we're not playing as well as we could do, but you know, we're grinding it out.
Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
there's some teams that look better than us and got less points in the league. So
yeah,
you know, that's a good sign.
They had 13 shots against you, which is not something you would normally talk about with a Liverpool side, especially when they're playing at home at Anfield.
Yeah. As I said, we're going to have to adapt now. I don't know who's going to have in midfield now. Henderson will probably have to come in and be a holder. He probably get Wijnaldum to come in as well and hold. If Matip isn't in the back 4, then he has to go with Gomez, and I think we've got another young guy, Reece. Can't name now. There's another young guy who might come in. I'm not sure what he'll do with the back 4. We have to see tomorrow against West Ham. But we have to see from here. But I think we're strong enough. I think we'll get through it. Win the title, I'm not sure without Virgil. Don't know, but we got good chances as anyone.
Yeah,
even without him.
VAR. Any VAR issues in that game with? Oh God, who was it? Was it Fabinho gets penalised for getting a good tackle in, I think it was.
Yeah, and that's where they got the penalty from. As I said,
Yeah.
man, the VAR, every team's going to get hit by VAR, but with something. Every team's going to get it. So, so you bounce back. Every team's going to get one. Every team will.
Yeah, true. And Andy, how you doing? How's your weekend going so far, mate?
Yeah, it's been a very, very hectic day. So I'm sorry I'm late, guys.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. We're near the end.
You're still flying the RR's colours, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta love Spurs fans. You gotta love Spurs.
That's our team that we used to play.
We used to play for.
Me, Tony Irish, and Tony Cox all used to play for.
Oh my God! Yeah. And he's wearing it big time, big time. Andy, what did you think of the Liverpool game last week?
I have to say I didn't see this game. I've seen like the goals and stuff like that, but so I probably can't comment too much in detail. I've probably missed most of the games I've seen already with you. But yeah, no, I didn't see this game too much. But obviously, I've heard that Fabinho got himself injured, which obviously. Sorry.
It's just knocked out. Bertrand, what did you think of this one? You can see my score.
I thought Sheffield overachieved in that game. I'm a little bit surprised given how they started the season. I thought they played really well, actually, and gave Liverpool a game and had a lot of shots in the game. And the thing about Liverpool, as I said, good teams are lucky, but somehow Liverpool always seem to come away, even when I won't call it battered, but they're under pressure and teams get very good chances. Somehow they don't convert, and Liverpool let them pay. So that's what happened in that game. But Sheffield played well, actually.
So when is Alisson back?
He's back.
Alisson's back. Alisson's back.
Played on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean,
yeah,
I think that's going to really help.
Yeah, I think Klopp will play 4-4. I think he'll probably play Jota, Thiago, and Henderson in his midfield. I have a feeling he wants Jota on the field some way, somehow.
Yeah, I mean, overall, not a bad performance overall. Sorry, Andy, I didn't let you finish before you.
No, it was my fault. I dropped the phone, so I went a bit mad. Not nice to see you wearing the colours, Coxie.
Coxie's got colours as well, mate.
Mad thing.
Yeah, those guys, man.
So hold on.
Why do I think that if Tony's playing on a team, the other opponents are getting hurt? Why am I thinking that two Tonys playing? Some of the opponents are getting physically injured.
Tony was there to protect us.
Yeah, he's a protector.
So hold on. What positions did you three play? What positions did you three play?
I was centre half. I was a Virgil van Dijk.
I was a Kante.
Oh man!
Wow.
And Andy is the all-time
He's a striker.
record holders goal scorer for the club.
Oh really?
The club's
Yeah, Harry Kane.
20 years, and Andy's got the record for the most goals ever.
Oh my God! So yeah, nice. Look at the smile on his face. You can't wipe.
The Harry Kane of our
Tony.
eyes.
Yeah.
He's a ledge.
Harry Kane forever. So TC, what did you think of this one? Liverpool, Sheffield United?
Yeah, I mean, I like yourself. I had Liverpool winning this by a good few goals. I didn't think Sheffield United would be in with a sneak. I figured that Liverpool would just drown them with possession. And yeah, I was surprised that they were still in with a shot at the end of the game. Because obviously at 2-1, you still think, well, it's a knife edge whether they could come back and get an equaliser in the last minute or something. But
I heard that Sheffield United were arguably the better team on the day.
They were better, but they were good. I wouldn't say they were competitive, team, but they were good. Yeah, they were very competitive. Yeah.
But
we won't dominate. We won't dominate games like we did for now. I think
62% possession against 38, so you were still ball dominant, and that's what it's about for me. It's like the way Liverpool play, they're going to have the ball for up to 3/4 of the game, and that takes a lot of energy to defend that.
But it wasn't as usual where they didn't have effective possession. Possession, but normally what they do is they attack you to the wings, and balls are flying in the box. It wasn't the same in that game, actually.
Just remember when you're talking about possession, TC, that Leicester won the title with 33% possession.
Yeah, counter-attacking football. I wonder if they'd be able to do that again. I think the game has really advanced in terms of tactics and formations since then.
I don't know if they'd be able to do that now.
Yeah, I think that was, and you know what? People didn't know the game. People didn't really, they couldn't stop it more than anything else. And what's his name? Riyad Mahrez was a big, 17 goals, 11 assists on top of Vardy getting 25 goals. And this is the thing. You need your wingman, don't you? Doesn't matter what team you're in. You need
and Kante mopping up everything.
Cleaning everything up.
Kante clean up everything,
yeah. So with Arsenal, they got the caretaker, the cleanup man in Partey, but they got no wingman. But forget the wingman, they got no pilot at the moment.
Yeah. They want to have a party, but they got no music. Yeah.
Oh, they got no pilot, no wingman. They just got.
Have I missed something? Has something happened? What was this about? No pilot.
Oh, that was Oh god.
We're running the ship at the moment, Andy. We got no one putting the ball in the goal.
Well, that game will come up in a minute anyway, won't it?
It's coming up right now, man. Is there anybody? Bertrand, did you have your say on Liverpool? I think you did.
Yeah, I did actually.
Okay, all right. So before I go to Arsenal, I want to go back and get Andy's opinion on the Burnley Tottenham game, because it would be wrong for you to come on here without talking about your team and bigging them up. As you can see, I went for 4-0 and I got it horribly wrong. What happened?
Well, basically, I thought it was a very professional performance. I mean, it wasn't very spectacular. We didn't play that well, but we contained them for a large part of the game. They didn't look that dangerous either. We withstood an aerial barrage, and we nicked the 1-0 win, which is what, I'm not saying that we are going to win the title, but it's what champions do, is get 1-0 wins away from home at Burnley on a Monday night. Now, there's a long, long way to go, and last night proved it, that we still have a long, long way to go. But I think he's clearly saving his 11. He knows his 11 now, which I think is a big step forward from last season, where everything was all over the place. He knows what 11 he wants to put on the park, which is why he's making 9-10 changes for a Europa League game. And you know, I'm sure the 11 he wanted will be on the park on Sunday, and with any luck, we'll get 3 points against Brighton, and we'll take it from there. But I thought Burnley, it wasn't a spectacular performance, but you don't have spectacular performances away at Burnley on a Monday night. You've got to get the points, and that's what we did.
Yeah, it's nice to hear a Spurs fan talk about their team like that with an ugly win. With Arsenal fans, when we beat West Ham, it was like the end of the world. me and Bertrand were looking at each other going, what?
I would say this, though, that I didn't think the two performances were comparable. I thought that Spurs were in control of the game. I thought they got lucky a bit.
Yeah. That
Kane header to Son. You know, it wasn't as if Kane had the ball to the goal and scored a spectacular header. But I thought against West Ham got good chances to score. That was different between the two.
Kane knew what he was doing when he put that header there. He was keeping the ball alive and hoping that someone like Son or one of the other guys would be quick enough to react to it. He kept the ball alive.
You used the optimum word, hoping.
Yeah.
He was,
But that is what good players do. They keep the ball alive.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, he's turning into a Teddy Sheringham at the moment with his 8 assists and 5 goals.
It's exactly how his game has developed over the last 12 to 18 months, because he clearly knows that he's lost with his injuries. He's lost a yard of pace, so he's having to adapt his game, and he's doing it brilliantly. He has always had it in his locker. I can remember 3-4 years ago him spraying balls all over the park at Anfield, and Liverpool saying, "Oh, what's going on here?" I mean, Liverpool still won, so it didn't make any difference. But he has got the quality to do that, and I think now he's finding that role more and more, because now we've got Son and either Bale or Mora or Vinicius or any of these guys that we've now got serious pace to go beyond him. We didn't really have that before. Now we have.
You realize how many names Andy said a while ago? You realize he said about 5 or 6 names? He didn't say all of them either. You see how many names? Vinicius, Bergwijn, Mora, Bale, Son, Kane. They just keep It's like a factory that are rolling them out.
Well, and most of them
and we have Lacazette.
very creative. Yeah, most of them are creative players as well. So, guys, we move on to last one for the night, which is Arsenal and Leicester. I went for Arsenal 2-1. In fact, a lot of you lot went for Arsenal 2-1. Guys in the chat, what did you guys think of this game? It would be good to hear what your opinions was. Obviously, most of you who were in the chat was watching the live watch along with all of us, so you knew what we thought of it all. But TC, where are you now after you've had a few days to let it sink in?
I'm conflicted, my friend. I'm very conflicted because Arsenal have put themselves in this situation. We don't need to have a team without a rudder. We have a rudder, but we just won't play it. I'm not going to say the name, but everybody knows Arsenal has a rudder, but we just don't play it. And it's not the best rudder in the world, but it's a rudder nonetheless. And when you just kind of think, well,
I've never heard the word rudder so many times in the space.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you look at the 25-man Premier League squad and the 25-man European squad, and you go, how the hell does Mustafi get in that squad? I mean, he literally would be probably 29 on my list of players of the current squad if I had to choose a squad.
Yeah.
And there's one guy who's a kind of semi-creative, and he doesn't run a lot, but you know what? Maybe occasionally from time to time he might just come in and...
Hey, I've been watching him. I've been watching the training videos at London Coney, and he's been bossing them. He's been bossing them, mate.
So
he's been bossing.
I'm just going to talk about the players we have got at the end of the day. Quite clearly, we are struggling to get the fluidity back that we had towards the end of last season. Because at the end of last season, those same players, without Thomas Partey, were doing a thing. We beat Liverpool, we beat Man City, we beat Chelsea. So, you kind of go, well, some of that fluidity has changed. And we changed the system. We were playing a 3 at the back, now we're gone to a 4. So you kind of think it should be even better. And we've got this rock at the back now. And we've got this guy in midfield. So we should be hoping for an improvement. But it's going to take time to gel. And I realise that. But what is unquestionable is the front three are failing badly, miserably.
Yeah, they are.
My guy.
Yeah.
Aubameyang looks like he got his contract and has then just decided to down tools. Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Apollo mentioned a point. Even though he's down tools, apparently when it looks like it, he's still our most creative player.
Yeah.
More chances than any other player.
And it contradicts everything Bertram has said. Bertram is saying he can't do anything outside of scoring, but he's created more chances than anyone on the team. 9 chances. Bertram, you want to take over from Tony on that one?
Well, I mean, look, there are chances and there are chances, and people have this view about chances, and statisticians sometimes overrate what are deemed as chances. Kane gives Son a chance, one-on-one with a player, one-on-one with a keeper. That's a chance. You give me a ball, 15 yards from the 18, and I beat 2 men, and we call it a chance. I don't see Aubameyang creating significant chances for
I disagree.
Wait.
The cross to Bellerin when Bellerin hit it on the volley was brilliant.
But Bellerin had to hit the ball high up, right?
Still a chance.
But it's not the same as Son getting a chance one-on-one with a player to go through on the keeper. It's not the same chance. I'm sorry, it's not.
If that went anywhere except for at the goalie, it would have went in. It was a brilliant cross.
You and I know Aubameyang is a great goal scorer, and that's it. So all those who are shocked about Aubameyang and where he is right now, we played Liverpool, we played Man City, we played Leicester. Aubameyang, apart from after late in the restart last year, didn't score against the big teams. So let's not be shocked about him playing 3 of the top teams and only not scoring against them, because that's his MO. So I'm not shocked about it. I think, yes, the top 3 players we have up front, we scored about 56, 57 goals last year. We don't score a lot of goals. We gave up 1 goal to Man City We gave up 1 goal to Leicester, and we lost both games. So the problem is not your defense or your midfield. I don't care about creativity. The problem is our forward line. Who is Spurs' creative player? I know Ndumbele is playing better, but Son is their creative player. Kane is their creative player. Burnley is their creative player. Moore is the creative player. We have the most expensive forward line in Premier League history, and they don't create anything and put the ball in the net. It's a fact. So this whole perspective,
you're saying it's a fact, but the fact in the numbers that he's created 9 chances, how can it be a fact when the numbers says otherwise? If he was
creating 9 chances, everybody would say we're creative. Everyone is saying we're not creative. So it goes against the grain to say, you know what, we're creating all these chances, we're not scoring, when that's not what the general audience, the general population, the pundits are saying. They're saying we need lazy to be in our team because we're not creative. So we can't say we're creating a lot of chances and then say we need lazy, or you guys call him Ozil to come play in the number 10 slot. That's contradictory. Aubameyang's passing is atrocious. Look, Aubameyang is a great goal scorer, but his passing is atrocious.
I don't disagree.
It's really, really Tony, your old Andy and Tony. Right now, you guys can pass better than Aubameyang. I'm not joking.
Yeah, no. We watch the games together, and we're just like, what on earth did he just do right there? I mean,
no, Lacazette hasn't played like Lacazette. I'm not sure what happened to Lacazette. He's just not playing well. Pepe is hot and cold. William looked like, I don't know what happened to William since he left Chelsea. And maybe his age is showing because he hasn't played well since the Fulham game. So our top 4 players, here's the thing, guys. Liverpool has 3 players up front who are the creative players. Spurs have 3 players up front who are creative players. Your forward line should be creative. We talk about Zaha a lot. Your forward line should be beating player, linking, setting each other up. Look at Salah playing to Mane, playing to Firmino. That's their creativity. So this whole concept about us not having Ozil, I'm sorry, I'm not buying that.
So would you put Reece Nelson in the team against Old Trafford on Sunday? Because a lot of people are saying that that's what we need.
My problem with Reece is everybody's lauding Reece for yesterday's performance. And when Reece reached about 10 yards from the 18, he has no idea what to do. So Reece beat 2 and 3 players. He looks really skillful. He looks like, he's fluid, he's flexible, he's moving through players. And he gets to the top of the 18, almost the top of the 18, and all of a sudden it breaks down. He doesn't know when to pass. He doesn't know when to beat. You guys can tell me, but I watched the game and I'm analyzing the game and thinking.
No, but I didn't actually. I'm his biggest fan. I'm his biggest fan, Bertrand. But I said that I thought he did okay. I didn't. The game before that, he ran the whole show.
9, 8. Look, he's skillful. But guys, you gotta be. The decisive part of your game is when you get to the top of the 18. Do I make the right decision under pressure? He doesn't.
The thing is, it's Dundalk. You can't base a game on Dundalk to put a guy in the first team against Man U.
We can't say that, Tony, because look what happened to Spurs last night. So we can't say that.
Yeah, but
they got beaten by the
But to be fair, Antwerp are top of the Belgian league.
Better than Dundalk.
They haven't lost at home for over a year.
Dundalk are not even a football league team. Come on, they've been.
That's what I'm saying. You can't compare Antwerp and Dundalk.
Look at the smile on TC's face. You could make a meme out of that.
Dundalk,
you could put a meme on it and then it says, "Really?"
TC,
and Tony's just going,
Dundalk.
Tony's just going, and the meme is like, "Really?"
Wait.
Our Arsenal could have given a good game. Sure.
Wait. I said this, guy. You know what? It's the first time in European League history a team played a game and didn't commit a foul.
Yeah,
wow.
A single foul.
Now, there are some fouls in there. I must admit, there were fouls. They get called. It was the first time it's ever happened in the game.
Oh, wow.
So let's see what the guys in the panel are saying. So Cool K saying Leicester paid $1 million for Vardy, and 8 years later he's still winning matches. If there is better value in the Premiership, I can't think of it. Mr. Bongo said he went for 9-0.
Spurs paid 0 for Kane.
Yeah.
Arsenal gave it to you, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Arsenal gave him, so there must have been some underhanded. So Kurt said somebody else.
He knew what trajectory both clubs were on.
Yeah, for real. Really? They haven't won have they won a trophy since he's been there? Yeah.
Don't talk about trophies.
So Kurt says, plain and simple, did not put our chances away. And we did have chances, guys. We did have chances. Should have won the game in the first half. I totally agree. Cool K again says, Leicester City, sure, the enigma this season. They beat Man City and Arsenal away and lose to West Ham and Villa at home. Cricket Ball says, this game told me a lot about trusting Lacazette as our main striker. Everyone's saying these things, but he's been playing like that for a while now. This isn't something we haven't just found out. The only thing that's kept him in the team is the fact that he scored some goals. But, you know, even though the goals went in, he was doing literally nothing in the whole game outside of the goals. Time to cut the cord.
Talk to me. What is happening with Pepe? £72 million. What is going on?
First of all, he's not starting every game, so they need to fix that. You know, he can't do anything if he was left on the bench free in the first 3 games. So, and I always get this thing: if the guy's on the bench, he can't produce. And since they've been playing him, they put him on as a sub against Liverpool. He scored. I think he's got like 2 goals, 2 assists already this season. But they need to play him because he can make it happen. He's probably our best set piece player that we have in the whole team. He's our best player at taking corners. Best penalty shot, taker. You've got to have him on the team. You're not going to learn nothing about the player if you leave him on the bench. And I think that is something Emery did, Lundberg did it, and Arteta to a point is doing the same thing. There's talent there.
You see, the thing with me, if you've got a player and you've got 3 managers come in and they all do the same thing with him, something's not right.
Well, we know what's right. He goes missing in games. He switches off, and that's the problem that he's had.
Yeah, something ain't right.
Go on, TC.
So what I was going to say is, I'm going to say that Arsenal are still trying to find their systems of play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even although Pepe came in under Emery, came through Lundberg, and he's now with Arteta, even to this day, as good as we've seen improvement with the Arsenal team under Arteta, we still aren't seeing the defined methodology of play.
Where's his favorite? Where's his position? Where's he playing?
Yeah. So what we're missing is when Pepe's going forward on the right-hand wing, is Bellerin meant to be going past him? Is Bellerin meant to be going inside of him? Is Lacazette meant to be coming closer to him? And the same happens on the left-hand side of the pitch where we look at Lacazette, Aubameyang, and it's like the same thing. But the difference is, at the end of last season, we were seeing Tierney and Maitland-Niles working with Aubameyang on the left.
Yeah.
And
Pepe's had nothing.
Was profiting.
Pepe's had nothing. No support.
I'll tell you what.
Sorry, Tom. I just want to say, what I see in Arsenal is a fractured system in that it doesn't know what it wants to do and how to do it.
Agreed.
So what in your opinion, you Arsenal fans, who are your front 3, your top front 3? If you had to choose your top front 3, who would the 3 players be?
Saka, Aubameyang, and Pepe for me.
I agree.
Same team? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what they need to do, them 3. They need to sit down and watch videos of, I know you don't like it, Spurs and Liverpool, and see how those 3 interact. Kane drops deep. Firmino drops deep. Then comes to these guys interchange. That's what they need. They need to watch how these 3 work together. Because then...
Tony, there's one correction there. Here's the difference. Kane and Firmino play 9 and 10. They both can play like a 9 and 10. Abba doesn't have that in his locker.
They're not good enough. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, he can't.
He can't play 9 and 10. Kane plays 9 and 10. Firmino is almost more of a 10 than a 9, frankly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
so I mean, Abba doesn't have that in his locker. But I would say this though: I think Abba can stretch the defense, and that's what we don't do really well. Right? If you're defense, you're terrified of a player with that speed who can put the ball in the net, like a Vardy. Just play him like a Vardy. Vardy gets 15 touches a game and scores 2 goals. We don't do that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we have the ability with Kieran Tierney, Gabriel, and David Luiz. And if we played, if we took out Bellerin and we put in Suarez, we would have then 4 players who can hit long balls over into Aubameyang. 4 players who can trouble a defense with their passing.
So who do you think the issue is? Arteta?
No, I think the issue is that just what Tony said. I think Arteta's not even been there a year yet. He's got these players. He's only had Partey for a month, so I think he's just got these players that and look, he's
still missing. He's still missing that.
No, I think Tony raised a great point actually.
He's only just switched the 4 at the back, Tony, as well. He's only just switched the 4 at the back.
No, Tony, you raised a great point. Here's what you said, Tony. Here's what you said. You said you have 3 managers come in, and they all have problem with the player. It's not only Pepe, by the way, because Wenger used to bench Lacazette. Wenger bench Lacazette. Emery bench Lacazette. Arteta bench Lacazette. It's the player. When a player is exceptional, he gets to play. It's a fact.
There's something
and
wrong.
Here's what happened also. Pepe is inconsistent. Look, Pepe's skills start to deceive a lot of times. Has ridiculous skills. But the problem is he's like Sanchez sometimes. He turns the ball over a lot. He gets one-on-one with a player and he don't go by them. Unlike a Zaha, unlike a Salah, unlike a Mane, who the defender is quaking.
Nelson.
Reese periodically.
Dundalk,
man. If you're playing, you're a defender one-on-one with those players, you're quaking. You're realizing you're at mercy. Pepe doesn't create that situation when he has one-on-one, which is not a lot. And also, we're a very left-dominant team. So if you look at the stats, we play about 70% to the left and 30% to the right. What are you shaking your head for? It's a fact.
I'm shaking my. Okay, so if you've seen the video that I uploaded today, you probably didn't because I only uploaded it.
But the last game, the guy from AFT, he quoted the stats, and they were awful.
Okay, so after the show finishes, you probably need to go and watch the video I just uploaded because most of the goals that we scored this season came from the right. The last 3 games.
I'm talking about ball possession.
I agree.
Ball possession.
Yeah. I agree. But I'm talking about since we changed to a 4 at the back, all the success, the chances created and the goals have come from the right. And I mentioned that in the video today. So I just want to finish off what these guys are saying. Kuke is saying, Xhaka and Mustafi go on Apollo say, oh, God. Right. So ever since we bought these 2, we've not made a top 4. And who was at fault for the goal against Vardy last week? These 2 players.
But Tony said something earlier. Go back to it.
To bite us.
Xhaka has played under every manager we have had. He's played under Wenger. He's played under Arteta. He's played under Lumberg. He's played under Emery. He started in that slot every manager. So they must be seeing something that we're not seeing.
Yeah, they're seeing that the goal he let in.
No. They keep playing him, so they're seeing something.
As long as you, Bertram, as long as you play him, that's what you're gonna get.
I must say, a couple of these games, man, I've got to look at Arteta. I think he's made some tactical choices that ain't been great. Against. He's been a bit negative as well for me, especially against the Man City game and Liverpool.
Yeah, but in fairness to Arteta, though, he hasn't really been like that in the last 30 games previously. So
why has he gone back to that?
Because he's gone back to a back 4 now, and it's complicated everything. So and as Tony said, it's teething problems. We're going to have to. And the thing is, we can't go back to a 3 because at some point you're still going to have to go back to a 4 because that's your binary formation. That's the formation you've built all your tactics around. So we're going through teething problems now. We just have to weather the storm.
Well, yeah. I still got to think he's got something to do.
Guardiola disciple, right? And he wants to dominate teams. And he wants to play a back 4 to do so, but it doesn't feel like he had the players to do it. So he felt like he was forced last year, at the last part of the season, to play a back 3 against the better teams. He wants to play a 4. Now he has Partey. He think he can play a 4. But the players up front are not scoring goals. And that's why we look the way we look. By the way, Andy, you're putting the point about Pepe. Pepe was like your Ndombele last year, right? Ndombele came in, highest price player, didn't produce. He's rejuvenated. And now he's playing better on the Marino. Marino treat him like he treat Dele Alli now. It's like, you know what? I'm going to make an example of you. You either take it well and produce, or you recoil. So hopefully Pepe will start producing.
So since we bought Pepe, he scored 10 goals and had 11 assists. That's since
let's talk about his Premier League stats. Let's not talk about
no. Let's talk about his stat. No, forget. I don't play that game. Yeah, you play a player in every competition, and it's what that player can give you in every game.
No.
You don't get paid a salary.
It doesn't count to score 14 goals against Dundalk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that doesn't work like that. Yeah, it doesn't work like that for me. You
Don't
play
talk.
in Europe, you play in domestic competitions, you play in the league, and you're judged. You get paid a salary for performing in all those games, not one competition. They don't work.
Okay,
like
so
that.
how many goals did he score in the league, in the Premier League? How many goals did he score in the Premier League?
You tell me, because you're that's the only
No, I'm just asking you.
I look at everything. So if that's what you're watching, you tell me how many goals he scored.
I don't know.
It's not 10. It's not 10.
No.
So Kez is saying, I think Laka was unlucky not to have scored the given goal. Yeah, me too. I think he was unlucky. It would have changed the game considerably. That being said, we played a good 45 and not so good in the second. Agreed. And he also says that front feet has no fluidity again. 18 saying, Bertram, you're wrong on that one. Uber is creative. The stats show that. I think that's not actually what Bertram's saying. I think Bertram's alluding to the fact that he's not a good passer of the ball. So forget the stats for now, and let's look at what he does. His ball placement and the weight of his passes are inferior to just about every forward. So regardless of how many chances he's created, and he does create chances, look at his passing ability. Yeah, as I said, the speed and the range of the pass and the weight that you put on the pass, it's atrocious. It's ridiculous.
The thing with the Birmingham, I don't care about his passing. He should be banging the goals in. You know, Lineker.
That's what exactly.
Lineker. Some of those top guys. You know, Van Nistelrooy. They didn't care about passing. They care about scoring. Forget about his passing. I don't care if Aubameyang can pass. Put the ball in the net. He's not doing that.
But,
so I don't care.
Tony, those players were playing through the middle, though. They're playing through the middle. He's not playing through the middle.
Well, why isn't he playing for the? Why isn't he playing for the?
Good question. Good. We're asking the same question. You're right.
Yeah, we're asking the same question.
So that's why I have to go back to Arteta. That's why I keep harping back.
And look, Arteta knows that he's got all them goals playing from the left-hand side. So I understand the math in it, but it's not but the math doesn't make sense at the moment because you need creativity. So I get the fact that if you get a 20-goaler striker in the middle, then and you've got a 20-goal false nine playing on the left. I get that. That's 40 goals. And that overall is a better situation to be in. So I understand why Aubameyang's doing it. But the problem is you got no one setting those goals up. So put the man in the middle, let him do what he's good at, and then build the creativity around him.
Your guy Kirk there has made a good point about Martinelli. How long is he away from fitness?
He's back to full training now, so it's just a matter of 2 weeks. Yeah.
Because when I watched him last year, the first time I saw him, I said that boy is a player. And every time since he has been, I watch him and he is special. I'm telling you, he's very, very special. Yeah. I'm sure you guys know it as Arsenal fans.
Oh yeah.
But, no, we all. I think everybody who's seen him play to a man will say he's one of the most exciting players that we've got in our roster. And to be honest,
he's still not 19 or something, 18, 19, isn't he?
Yeah, I compared him to an 18-year-old Ronaldo at Man United.
We had a kid came on last night for the end of the game who is also another very, very useful looking player. I thought Folarin Balogun had a good 10-minute spell.
Yeah,
looked lively, and the kid's got a nose. He's one of them under 23s. He's just banging goals for fun.
Yeah.
Look, look. We all love Martinelli, but let's be frank. Arteta wasn't playing him a lot last year. When he was healthy, he was on the field for every game. So we're still trying to figure out who Arteta decides to play and what's his rationale. Abba should be down the middle because the problem is Abba is not creative and he's playing on the left, which takes away a spot from a creative player.
You couldn't play Martinelli in the middle at all for the whole season because he's just not physically strong enough.
And he's still very young. You'd play him in like 2/3 of the games or half the game and ease him in. But I'm just saying that his touch and his nose for where to be is very, very good for such a young guy.
Yeah,
he's a complete player, which is what our forwards are now. He's the only complete forward we have. He can score with his head, left or right foot. He can hold the ball up. He can beat a man. Yeah, he's a complete player.
He can play on the right. He can play at the 10. He can play on the left. He can play as a main striker. When Aubameyang got a red card last year, missed 3 games, everybody was doing backflips to say, "Oh, where the goal's going to come from?" Up steps this 18-year-old and bangs 2 goals in. The goal against Chelsea was that was superior. But I mean, he can do that. He had 10 goals last year, and he hardly played. He was another one that got benched quite a bit.
One of your issues, though, with Aubameyang, you need to play Aubameyang down the middle. In my
said
opinion.
that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Missed bits of it, but
Arteta, mate.
for me, Aubameyang has to be down the middle because you have to get him to get the chance. You want him in the position to get the chances because he is the one that's going to put the ball in the back of the net.
That's right.
You know
That's
what
the
the problem is, Andy? The responsibility of playing that 9 position, as Bertram said, his hold-up play is not as good as Lacazette. His ability to bring other players in is not that good.
No,
I agree. I agree with you. But when he gets the chance, he will put it in the back of the net.
play to his strengths, man. Just get the ball in the box and let him score.
Exactly. It's all strikers are different, guys. Some guys like the ball at their feet and they do the quick turn. Some players just run into the slip. You know, they run behind.
He was a joint scorer in the Premier League last season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And the season before that.
So here's the issue with the back. So here, guys, here's the issue, which is you play him on the left. He plays defense when he feels like it. So he's not always going to work hard to go back and help the left back. He's not a good hold-up. He doesn't beat his man on the wing a lot. He doesn't create a lot. He can't pass really well. So you're trying to – look, he scored 22 goals from that slot. But at the end of the day, you're losing a lot in the field of play when he plays on the left versus you play him down the middle like Vardy, and you say, you know what, go and score. As you're saying, Andy, get in the box, our Tony's saying, and score goals. Don't worry about hold-up play behind the
not
defense.
interested in that. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Put the ball in there. Don't worry about anything else. That's what I want you to do. And if he's not doing it, you put him on the bench.
So here's another point, actually, which is important, actually. So we're not good at keeping the ball. So teams like Man City and Liverpool can play very high on us because they know they can get the ball off us. If ABBA plays, you have to play deeper. You can't afford to play at the halfway line, or the City does over the halfway line. You got to play deeper, or he gets behind you. So he actually helps you playing the center forward, helps your entire team in terms of how you set up and how you play, because we're not the best team at keeping the ball. I don't understand Arteta's strategy about having him play in the wing. I just don't get it.
No,
and that's the reason why some of the fans have been saying, what's going to happen after, against a Man United game? I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to take it on the chin or whatever happens there. I'm not, it's too early. He ain't even been there a year yet. So
you're a strange team because you are capable of beating anybody on your day.
We showed that at the end of the season.
But this season, whenever you've come up with against anybody decent, you've lost.
Yes.
Same for the last 10 years, Andy.
Yep, I know. But the thing is, look at the back end of, post-lockdown, the back end of last season, you beat City and Liverpool. Yeah. You did win some big games, despite actually still not looking that brilliant, but you did win some big games. Yeah. And this season, although you've, talked up, and yes, you have looked good in patches, and I do believe Arteta is taking you in the right direction, although it might take a bit of a meandering route to get there. You aren't winning the big games at the moment because you've beaten Sheffield United and Fulham, who are the bottom two in the league, with the only point they got was against each other. And you beat West Ham in a game where you were fortunate to win, and the other 3 games you've lost against Leicester, City, and Liverpool.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Goals in them.
I totally agree.
The back end of last season, Arsenal playing with freedom. This again, I think Arteta is doing the Guardiola thing. He's overthinking stuff. Sometimes Arsenal look a bit stifled, and the freedom. The back end of last season, I don't know. It was you just played with freedom. There was flair. There was grit. And this time now, there's just I don't know. There's stuff to start.
The thing that I would say is, football is rocket science. Yeah, when some people say football ain't rocket science, you just put men on the pitch and let them play.
Yeah, it's not like that now.
It's not like that anymore. Football is rocket science. It's so much science about it now, and essentially, what you're asking a player to do is what we do in boxing now. Yeah, in the boxing game, back in the day, you just said go out there, punch the man in the face, and win. But now it's all about, well, when he throws this, drop this hand, throw the left hook there, throw the left hook, and it's all scientific. That reaction to this brings this, reaction to that brings that. and that's how football is. Because on the sheet where the manager is going to the player, you're coming on the 81st minute, and he's showing him all the diagrams. When he moves there, you move there, and he moves there.
Yeah,
this is what happens.
It's a science now.
This is where Arsenal haven't got it right.
Yeah.
Quite clearly, when you look at the way Arsenal play the ball out the box, we struggle.
Yeah, and
when you look at Man City play the ball out the box, everybody knows where they need to be.
That's right. Yeah, and that's the reason why everybody says
you go there, bam, 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 and all of a sudden we're in the other half.
And that's the reason why they're saying that Arteta misses the water breaks, because he had the ability to change everything on the fly. Now, we saw the second half against Man City, second half against Leicester, where they just looked lost and created nothing.
But that's when you need your generals on the pitch to lead. That's when you need your Vieiras, your Keanes, those kind of players that are telling everybody on the pitch, look, we need they can read it. But not many teams do now, Tony. Not many teams do now. There are not too many players of that ilk around anymore. It's something that's going out of the game.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. The problem we have is if you have a player can keep the ball, then they're going to lose the ball. City can keep the ball. Liverpool can keep the ball. Barcelona can keep the ball. Bayern can keep the ball.
I don't think.
No, it's the players you have. Look. Here's the thing, Tony.
Bertram,
here's the thing, Tony. So we have El Neni. Wait. So we have El Neni.
You just said Man City. Man City lost 12 games last year.
No, but they can keep the ball. But Tony,
they can still keep the ball.
Rocket science. Rocket science, they win every game. If it was really rocket science, they would win every game.
Football is rocket science.
They won. Huh?
No, I think you can overcomplicate stuff. I really do. I think you can put too much stuff in in your players' heads and to mess them up. You put too much in their heads, like Aubameyang. Tell him straight, go and score goals. Stay in the box and score goals. I don't want you to run around all over the place.
Yeah,
I don't want you to look at a diagram to say Aubameyang when he goes, I'm not interested. Go and score some goals. Not interested.
I agree with that with Aubameyang. But look, Guardiola against Leon last year was criminal. What Guardiola did with putting Fernandinho in the right of a three playing Leon, who they're a better team than. He lost that game versus Leon winning that game. That wasn't even close.
Okay,
Arteta employed some of those same strategy with us. El Neni has been playing. Look, El Neni doesn't feel pressure. I'm not sure you guys realize this, Tony. El Neni doesn't feel pressure. Xhaka feels pressure.
Yeah.
When Xhaka has the ball, he gets nervous. El Neni doesn't feel pressure. El Neni doesn't get involved in the big games.
Yeah.
Because I watch El Neni getting pressure. He doesn't feel pressure.
That's Bertram, about your comment about football isn't rocket science. Let me tell you a game where rocket science absolutely blew everything out of the water. Barcelona against Bayern Munich. Literally, rocket science was performed on the pitch.
That was on another level.
I've never seen a decapulation of a team that good ever in my life.
Yeah, and the pressure was exceptional.
But what Bayern Munich did on that particular night was everything delivered the way it was supposed to do with precise ingenuity.
Which one? The one 4 years ago, the one last year?
It's
not the first time they destroyed Barcelona.
It's
not the first time they destroyed Barcelona, by the way.
We destroyed them.
I mean, Barcelona.
Come on, man.
It's not rocket science.
all good teams beat Barcelona. Yeah.
Because they only play one way, right? They're an attacking team. If their position football doesn't work, they get flustered. Frankly. Yeah. Look. At the end of the day, I think we're going to struggle as a team until our forward line start clicking. They have to put the ball in there. I don't want to hear this thing about we don't have midfield or creative. Go create and beat a man and score and get a penalty like Zaha does. Zaha gets a penalty a game if the ref gives him the penalty. We don't get penalties. Where's Pepe getting penalties and he's so creative?
Yeah, and he used to get them by running into the box. Now, when do you see him running into the box with the ball at his feet? Yeah,
why does he stop doing that?
I don't know, and that's what he's not doing the things that made Walcott the winger he was, and that's why he's just seems. And again, I think when you have a player like Walcott, there's urgency there. When he gets the ball, he only knows how to do one thing, and that's run forward towards the goal. Pepe's doing anything but that. Pepe's not making those runs. He's not running at defense. He's not attacking defensives. And that's where you see him, where they're saying he's falling out of games and he's looking disinterested. And I mean, Maitland-Niles last night was just like, I don't even want to be on the field. And when you get too much of that, it's just not good. But
yeah, another point too is our midfielders don't get in the box. Our midfielders never get in the box.
Yeah, they never got in the box. They just can't be bothered.
And that again falls in line with my rocket science theory. Because let's put it this way: when you play certain teams, you're going to come up against 10 men in and around the 18-yard area. 10 men. How do you penetrate 10 men? You have to have rocket science.
Yeah.
You have to know when he runs to the left 2 yards, I run to the right 3 yards. You slip the ball here. You remember the Jack Wilshere goal against Aston Villa? That is rocket science performed at its best.
So what's happened to Willian? Bertram, I'll let you take this one. This from side.
I actually don't know, and it's a puzzle because I like William. I've seen him at Chelsea. He doesn't lose the ball like Pepe does. He can be creative with the ball. He works really hard. So he has all the fundamentals they look for in a player. And he scores the occasional goal. He's not a prolific goal scorer. So I'm very surprised that he has struggled the last 3 or 4 games. And maybe it's more about how we play than about William himself. Because he was asked to play the 9 when we play against City. I have no idea where Arteta sits in his NASA spaceship. He's talking about rocket science. Crazy. This nonsense.
As Tony said,
William in the 9, and William was lost.
Well overthinking.
Totally
way
lost.
overthinking.
You seem to have a lot of players that are quality players. Willian is a quality player.
He is.
But you seem to have a lot of players that don't really fit the system that Arteta wants to play.
It's too early. That's why he's going through teething problems.
I don't understand your recruitment policy.
It's not the recruitment. It's just too early. He's only just got to play the quarterback system he's wanted to play from the time he walked through the door. When you look at Liverpool,
but Willian is not going to do the kind of work that Arteta generally did. I think
the answer is a lot more simple than what we think it is. I think we are looking for instant coffee. We're looking to add water, add the powder, and it works. It doesn't work like that. If you look at Jurgen Klopp, when he came into Liverpool, he was pressing so hard, so quickly that they were knackered in the second half. Took him a year to get that figured out, to get sorted out. And then they started developing the talent and they started improving in the transfer market, getting in Firmino, Salah. And Arteta's not been there a year yet.
Yeah, but Apollo, we're not all managers. I mean, we watch a bit of football. Willian does not play centre forward. We all
never.
You don't have to
ever.
We've got the issue. We got the issue that leads back to what I just said. What's Pepe's favorite position? We don't know. What's Willian's favorite position?
It's not centre forward, that's for sure.
Yeah, but we don't know, and the manager doesn't know.
Apollo, you cannot defend it, Apollo. Apollo, you cannot defend it.
I'm just telling you what is factual. That the reason why we are seeing these players play a variety of positions, and Pepe is playing left wing, he's through the middle. Saka's through the middle, he's left wing. Willian's on the right, then Willian's at the 10. This is happening because the manager's trying to figure this shit out.
The manager thinks he's more brilliant than he really is.
No, he's trying to figure it out.
Rocket science, like Tony says. He thinks it's rocket science and it's not.
No, he's trying to figure it out. And guys, figuring it out takes time.
Yeah, but
not a matter of weeks or days.
Apollo, what you have a system, and then you say, right, let me get a player that fits in that system. You don't say, right, I'm let me just bring these players and see if he's good down the middle. How do you do that? You have a system. You say, right, I've looked at that player. I need a man down the middle. Let me go and get a centre forward. I need a man on the right hand side. Let me go and get him. You don't get Willian and say, "Oh, let me try him down the middle." When he's never done it for Chelsea.
Yeah, I know.
This is what Mourinho's done at Tottenham with Ali. You see, Dele Alli. No one's saying he's not a great player. He is a great player, but he doesn't suit Mourinho's system. Yeah. So Mourinho, he's leaving him out, and so Arteta maybe needs to be a bit more ruthless and say, this is the system I want to play. I need to find the players that are going to work in the system that I want to play. Because at the moment, you've got a lot of very good players, but they don't really suit the system that Arteta wants you to play.
What's the system? What's the system? That's the thing.
He's only just started playing it in the last few weeks. It's a 4-3-3. And then obviously we didn't press Man City or Liverpool at the level that we pressed them on the back end of last year. If you look at those games last year, we forced defenses into so many errors. But why was that happening? It was because Aubameyang was working twice as hard as he's working now. We had Nketiah in there who was causing major disruptions. He ain't even starting right now. We had Maitland-Niles taking players out of the game like Raheem Sterling. Niles isn't starting at the moment.
So who's the problem? Is it the players or the manager?
Both.
It's both, yeah. It's
So
both.
I'll say this. Maybe it's rocket science because I don't get it.
It's true. It's nuclear physics.
Give it
I'm
time,
gonna
guys.
say
Give it
again,
time. Give it time.
If you spend 4 hours a week practicing routines in training every day of the week, you should start developing partnerships. You should be developing understandings. Kane and Son get it. They just get it. They know where.
Yeah, again, I'm going to back that one away because they've had how many games have they played together?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
six-
what
six
you're
years.
trying to achieve.
Yes,
5 years.
exactly. So that's why I can't do this, Tony. He's been the Leicester year. We've only been playing his system for a matter of weeks. It's going to take
So,
time.
guys,
While it takes time, we're going to go through some growing pains. That's just how the game is.
How long
The
is
point is
Lacazette
that
and then?
Kane and Son were very young when they started forming that relationship. You've just given Aubameyang a brand new contract and he's 31 years old. So he is not going to have 2, 3, 4 years to build a relationship with somebody else because his career at the top level is probably going to be done in the next year or two. So maybe you need to be thinking, well, actually,
Martinelli.
even though we wanted Aubameyang, was he the right? Did we do the right thing?
But how long has Aubameyang
So-
and Lacazette been together? How long have they been playing together?
Couple of years.
Couple of
Yeah,
Well,
years.
Aubameyang and Lacazette. I mean, I think Lacazette is a great finish, a good finish. He scores great goals, Lacazette. But it's
Well,
just
they've
that he does it too infrequently and he doesn't
Yeah,
play consistently well.
I don't think the
So-
goals are the problem. It's what happens when he's not scoring goals. That's the problem with Lacazette. In the system Aubameyang's playing, you need a guy like Nketiah whose movement and positioning and work rate is exceptional. Now,
But then the
Nketiah,
communication breaks down between Nketiah and Aubameyang. Whereas Lacazette and Aubameyang have history. You know, listen, the whole handshake.
Them two
bowing
should be
the head
together.
business
Yeah.
is because they had developed an understanding. Yeah, those two players are very close. Nketiah
Yeah.
hasn't got that. So he's
Yeah,
a better
I
player
don't-
right now than Lacazette. But he's
Yeah.
got no connection with
I think it's the system. We need to fit them in the system Arteta's trying to play.
So, like I said before, I don't know what Arteta is doing. I'll say this, though, because I watch a lot of football and a lot of different shows to get people's perspective, a holistic perspective on football. And here's what I noticed. Most Arsenal fans almost have a consensus as to what 11 players should go on the field. The only person who differs a lot of times is Arteta. Now, we're not in training to see how players are training, but we know times when we see it. There's a reason why Real Madrid and Barcelona buy the best players. Because you need quality on the field, execute whatever system you want to execute. The Galacticos won how many Champions League together? 3 or 4, whatever it is, almost 3 years in a row. They buy the best players. The best players, regardless of the manager, because everyone says Zidane is not good. I don't know if that's true or not. The best players will get you over the line. City spend billions of dollars to buy the best players. That's why they win the league numerous times to take over from Man U. Similar to when Chelsea won the league when they buy the best players. So all this concept about managers being this brilliant, guys, the best players are what get you over the line a lot of times. And frankly, Arteta is not playing his best players in their best position.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that is 100%. 100%.
Apart
So,
from,
guys,
apart from that one season, Leicester won the league.
And what
Oh,
is
yeah,
going
there's
on?
aberration.
And
It's one-off.
what is going on with El Neni? What's happening?
same thing as Maitland-Niles. He just look, he's not playing in the games we need him to play. I mean, we left Gabriel, our best centre back, out against
The
Liverpool.
Liverpool game.
Yeah,
so
so
they-
I'll say this though on El Neni. So the problem is on El Neni, Andy, is this. So when you don't have a big reputation sometimes, even though you may be playing on the field and playing decently, you're not exceptional initially. People view you a certain way. As Tony called him a name, I won't say what the name is, but he's not a very good player, right? He went to Turkey, came back, played really well, and he produced really well in the last games of the season. Community Shield, he played well. Obviously, he's on the bench because he doesn't have the reputation. He's not the most agile player out there, the most athletic, but he does a very, very good job. Better than Xhaka. Somehow Xhaka has won the trust of all the managers who come to Arsenal, including Arsene Wenger. Every single man won the trust, and yet the fans and the pundits don't rate Xhaka. So we have this discrepancy between fans' perspective on players and ability, and fans see them all the time.
It's clear that Xhaka does what his manager tells him to do. That's what.
Maybe that's why.
Give away goals.
That's it.
Give the ball away. Give the ball away and give away goals.
What's the excuse for Mustafi? Because I don't get it.
I'm not sure. What the hell? What happened with Guendouzi?
He's on loan.
I know, but why?
He had a bust up, innit?
He had a falling.
Arteta is very disingenuous, actually. He's very disingenuous because Arteta will tell you that every player has a chance. He has a clean slate. When they came back after the restart with a clean slate, Ozil and Guendouzi were done. He wasn't going to play them. Yet he comes out and says to the pub, don't say anything then. That's my problem with Arteta. Says, you know what? Things are happening behind the scenes. We're working through it. Something else apart from not being honest and say, you know what? These players don't fit my system and/or we don't get along. We have to move them on. Because that's what he does with Guendouzi and then with Ozil. Yet he keeps saying they have a chance to make the team. Now he's saying that Ozil, he tried with Ozil. That's what he was saying before.
Yeah, he was doing a Donald Trump there, man.
Yeah, the Ozil thing, He
was fabricating the truth there.
So guys, find a place for Ozil.
So guys, let's close this thing now because we've run over a little bit. And let's find out from each of you what game you're looking forward to most this weekend. I think for me, it's definitely got to be the Leeds Leicester City. I think, but I think it's Leeds Leicester City or the Liverpool West Ham looks really tasty.
No, the Arsenal Man U's game is going to be a good one.
Not for me. I think we're going to lose 2-0 there. I'm going to stick with Liverpool West Ham. TC, what about you?
I'm always gonna pick Arsenal because I always think we've always got a chance.
You've got a chance.
One day we turn up and we turn somebody over, and you're like, wow. Last year, FA Cup semi-final, Man City. You're like, we're gonna get slapped the senses out of here, and the performance was unbelievable. Yeah. Don't forget, only 2 seasons ago, I was in Valencia. When we turned over Valencia at the Mestalla, I was there. And I could not believe. Aubameyang's hat-trick was phenomenal. I was like, the final's ours. It's done. It's a done deal. If we play like this, Chelsea are done.
Just remember, guys, Spurs won 6-1 at Old Trafford. So you should be able to match that if you're better than us, right?
Against 10 men, by the way.
Yeah.
We were destroying them before that.
Yeah, no, you did. I would say that we would give Manu a good game. I do think he should play. Look, what was effective for Arteta last year is playing MN on the best forward for the other team. On Traore, on Salah, on
Sterling.
And he shut them all down. You got to play him on Rashford because Bellerin and Tierney gets destroyed by very good forwards. He does. And Rashford will destroy whoever's playing against him unless we play Amen again. Because what Amen does is he loses focus in games that doesn't really matter. When he plays a very good player, he has recovery speed, and he also anticipates where the forward's going to go, unlike the other wingbacks we have who have deer in the headlight and don't realize that, you know what? They're playing a 1-2, so I have to recover before the balls get played. Amen does that brilliantly. So we do have to play him. But we also need to play Abada in the middle. Abada in the middle, Saka left, and Pepe right. The rest of the team, El Nene with Partey in the middle.
Partey, yeah.
Not Xhaka, who Manu is a very good middle, by the way, between Fernandes and Pogba and Fred, who's playing much, much better. They have a very balanced and a very capable midfield. And they play Greenwood on the right, we're going to have a lot of trouble. So we have to play a very balanced team to match up with them.
I'm not sure he'll play Pogba and Fernandes on Sunday. I think he might.
I agree.
I think he might leave one of them out.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not dropping Fernandes, is he?
With you, Andy.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pogba was on the bench then on Sunday.
With you, Andy, what team are you looking forward to, Andy?
I don't expect Pogba to play.
I think he'd be on the bench.
I disagree, actually. I think Pogba, last game he played, he was very good. He's motivated. He probably doesn't. He's been dropped. When you've been dropped, you then try to produce. Yeah.
Fernandes is not happy being shoved out on the right, which he's done a couple of times.
Yeah, he doesn't like that position.
He doesn't like being out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Guys, Andy, what game are you looking forward to?
Well, obviously ours, you know, and in the vague hope that we might be able to go top of the league. If the others lose. But yeah, I mean, look, I think probably obviously United Arsenal is an interesting game to watch. Obviously, from our point of view, we want to draw. But I think Burnley Chelsea could be interesting because not because I think it's going to be an entertaining game particularly, but I think it could be interesting to see how Chelsea deal with Burnley the way they've been playing, because you would expect Chelsea to be able to do what Spurs did the other night and grind out a victory. But I think Burnley are due a result. And I also think Sheffield United might surprise one or two people against Man City as well tomorrow.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I mean, Villa's at home to Southampton.
Villa Southampton, that could be another good game.
Yeah, Newcastle's at home to Everton. That's going to be a cracker.
That's a good game.
There are some very good matchups this weekend.
Yeah.
What about you, Ti?
I think Chelsea's going to smoke Burnley.
What about you, Ti? You're looking forward to West Ham, aren't you?
That should be a good game. I hope we spank them. But that should be a good game. We're at home as well, so we haven't lost at Anfield for a couple of seasons now. Wow. So I'm hoping that we can carry that on. Obviously, the Arsenal Man U game would be good, and the Aston, the Villa Southampton. That'd be an open game. That'd be a good game.
Excellent.
So Tony, maybe you can explain to Andy what it feels like to be so dominant and win trophies. He doesn't want to hear from us.
Nah, I won't do that, Andy, mate. I won't do that to you, mate.
So guys, that's it from us this week. Any closing statements from you guys?
That's
Enjoy
it.
your weekend, guys.
Yeah, we need to beat Man. We haven't beat Man U since God knows how long. It needs to happen this weekend.
Yeah.
14 years. Can you imagine? We're not a team that really breaks records, but that would be nice.
And Spurs beat them 6-1. Is that their place? You beat them 6-1?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to Tua. Come on, Tua.
You're Tua. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy.
They took out Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
By the way, just a quick one. Chisora Usyk. What do we reckon?
Usyk wins. He cuts him up at the end of the fight. It goes the distance because he can't knock him out.
Yeah. You got to be strong enough. Yeah. Points.
Derek can't deal with this guy's the way he fights, and he's a southpaw. He's got all kind of.
It's a big weight difference, though.
Yeah.
Big weight difference.
It's going to be.
And Chisora's been in with the best in the world.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how
by leaning all over him, roughing him up, taking him in the trenches. But this guy's good. He's got good footwork. Trust me.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Usyk, if Shaw hits him hits him on the jaw, to see how he reacts.
Chin, because
that's going to be the teller, because the power and the weight. But,
all right then, guys. That's it from us. I hope everybody has a good weekend.
Cheers,
and for Arsenal fans, we'll be live streaming the game this Sunday. So listen, we'll see you then, man.
Yeah, I'll be watching Aston TV after that game.
See you guys later, man. All right,
Take care.